Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome to what is hopefully going to be a fairly short video today, introducing you to my new Perfect Beater watch. Now, I try not to use the word beater on the channel all that often. I'm well aware that all things are relative. One man's beater watch may well be another man's grail watch, and I've always found the term to be just a little bit disparaging. Imagine you were a watch and someone was continuously referring to you as a beater.
Beater? Is that all I am to you? Is that what you tell your friends about me?
Anyway, enough anthropomorphism. There is one watch, or rather one range of watches, that is designed to be beaten. It loves to be beaten. It is, of course, the Casio G-Shock range. Casio developed the G-Shock in the early 1980s in response to one of their designers dropping and breaking his pocket watch. They wanted to develop a robust daily wear digital watch, and they did just that. These watches have been incredibly successful since then, selling to date well over 100 million units. I am personally responsible for 6 of those units. Over the years I've had 6 different Gs, and I've still got 3 of those 6. I had a basic square 5600 for many years, but the module died. It kept eating batteries. I replaced it with another basic square 5600. But that watch recently I turned into a full metal G for $100. If you haven't already watched that video, I'll leave a link up there. You really should. It's a great, easy, cheap mod for only about 50 bucks, assuming you already own a square G. So that left a hole in my collection, which I have now filled with this, the 5600E. It looks very similar to the regular ones, but it's solar powered. Let's flip the camera and have a look at it. What a truly terrifying prospect. Imagine if watches had emotions and were capable of expressing them. My life would just be a constant background noise of wailing and pining for attention. Alright, moving on to the G in question, the 5600E, the solar powered square. Now, I'll leave a couple of links in the description of the video, as always, Amazon and eBay. But you know, shop around, find the best deal for you, your local region, your local currency. I bought this one from a site in Australia called catch.com.au. I paid 135 Aussie for it. Now, to give you a bit of context, I reckon the regular G, the battery powered one, is around 100 or thereabouts, so it's a little bit more expensive, but I think it's worth it for the fact that you never need to replace a battery, you never need to take the case back off or disrupt the water resistance, integrity of the module, etc, etc. I see no reason why I would ever get rid of this watch. Famous last words. Why would I want anything else? It is perfect, or at least it's almost perfect. There will be one moan later on. One thing I will not be complaining about today is this square case design. I genuinely think it is a classic, as iconic as any other watch design from the 1980s. That's why it's gone virtually unchanged since then. This is the OG, the first G-Shock from 1983, the 5000. This is the first of the 5600 models that they released a couple of years later. Almost indistinguishable. 80s, 90s, they're all pretty much the same thing. I don't think they'll change this one anytime soon either. You saw the popularity of the metal square Gs. You know, they're still selling bucket loads of those today, and they haven't got bigger either. A lot of the modern Gs tend to be a bit too big for me, but this one has stayed true to the original design, that being 43mm in diameter and bang on 12mm thick, though you can see there from that angle several mil is protecting the mineral crystal dial from scuffs and scratches. Again, that's part of the whole G design philosophy. 46mm lug to lug, so a relatively compact lug to lug. Now, lug width, forget about it. Integrated resin band here today, integrated bracelet, again part of the design. If you drop this watch, it's going to bounce rather than smash like the original Casio designer's pocket watch did. There are various aftermarket parts, you can get adapters and so on, you can put these on NATOs if you really want to. I've never bothered, it just adds to the cost, and I don't think it does much for the watch. On the supplied resin band then, this one weighs in at 47 Gs. Light, tough, rugged, reliable, no wonder G-Shocks have been the choice of military personnel since they were invented, since they came into being in the 1980s. So, full plastic resin case, resin band here. There is a smattering of stainless steel, but only in the pushers, and as you can see, the 4 pushers on each of the 4 corners here are recessed so you don't press them by accident. Again, all part of that G-Shock philosophy. Case back is stainless steel and screw on, though all things being equal, I will never need to take the screws off here. No battery for me to replace in this one. You can see some of the structure here. There's an outer housing, there's an inner plastic housing protecting the module. So many different layers ensuring that this thing stays as it left the factory for many, many years to come. Module in this one is a 3160. Similar but different to the regular G's, a couple of extra features as I'll show you. Now at first glance the module looks very similar to the one found in the regular 5600 battery powered. It's got a 2-line LCD display, large numerals at the bottom for the home time, smaller numerals at the top displaying the day of the week, the month and the date of the month. But it does have a few extra features, being that it is this Tough Solar 3160 module. Press it once and you're into world time. That's not something you normally get with the base model battery powered version. 29 time zones, 48 global cities. I've got mine set to London GMT. Press it once more and you have 5 alarms rather than the 1 of the battery powered, including a snooze function on alarm number 1. Press it once again and you have a 100th of a second stopwatch, usual display, start, stop, reset. Next up you've got a countdown timer capable of counting from a minute all the way up to 24 hours. Again, start, stop, reset, and you're back to the regular home time. Electroluminescent backlight in the top corner with afterglow functionality. Much better than an LED in the corner. The afterglow doesn't go on for all that long, but they're trying to preserve the battery. Now you can see down the bottom there, LMH, that's low, medium and high. This one, once it's fully charged, should last for 11 months if you leave it in a drawer or a box unattended. It will gradually shut down features though. All features are available in high and medium charging state. Once you get into low, you lose the beeping and you lose the electroluminescent backlight. It will then give you a flashing warning signal that you really are about to lose all functionality. Then the thing will just shut down. But if you expose it to sunlight again for a couple of minutes, it will fire up again, but you will need to reset it. It's pretty much a battery reset, as it were. One other feature that this watch has is the automatic operation of the electroluminescent backlight. If I hold the backlight button down for 3 seconds or so, it'll pop up AEL. What that means is when the watch is on your wrist and then you can give it a flick like you're looking at it, the electroluminescent backlight will automatically illuminate. That will obviously have a negative effect on the life of the charge in here, but given that it's a solar, there's no shortage of solar power available to me here in Australia. I can leave that one on quite comfortably. Another option that this watch has is to engage a power saving mode. Now if I put it into adjust mode by holding this one down for a few seconds and then I cycle through the available adjustments, 12 hour, 24 hour, second adjust, hour adjust, minute adjust, date, month, year, etc. It should pop up. The last option is a power saving mode, on or off. If I switch that one, that should be on. Press the adjust again and it'll go back and you can see PS power saving. If this watch is unattended, if you leave it in a drawer or a box for a couple of hours, the screen will die, saving the battery even more. So if it is an occasional wear weekend warrior watch for you and you don't want that battery level to get down to the critical and have to reset it, then power saving mode is a good one to engage. And that's pretty much it really. There it is sitting on top of my 7-inch wrist. I've always thought that these square G's were very nicely on me. I've got a kind of average size wrist. I guess that's why they are still enduringly popular. 47 grams, you barely know the things there. Nicely integrated resin band here, conforming to the natural contours of my wrist. I have questioned on more than one occasion that metal buckle and tang. It does look a little bit out of place. It looks a bit cheap. It's the kind of one part of the watch that really betrays the price tag. They could of course put a plastic item on there, a resin item, but it wouldn't be nearly as robust. So I guess they've gone for economy and also for long-term durability with that one. And that's the proper overhead shot. My studio lights are nice and bright. You can still get a pretty clear read on that LCD in here though. Maybe not quite as crystal clear once I take the watch outside into some natural light. That is my one moan. I have only one moan and no niggles about this one today. Because of the solar cell, there's a little surface between me and the LCD display and it just kind of ghosts it. It just makes those LCD numerals not quite as vibrant, not quite as clearly defined as on the battery powered versions. It is kind of noticeable, but I think it is a small price to pay for the fact that this watch is likely to outlast me.
There you are. Perhaps you can notice what I'm talking about more clearly when I put the two watches side by side. The numerals are slightly larger on the solar powered one on the right, but just not quite as sharp, not quite as crisp, not quite as clearly defined. Like I said though, small price to pay. And there we are, that's the family photo to finish there. My current crop of 3 G-Shocks. Home modded full metal square on the left, home modded half metal Casio on the right, and the stock standard solar in the middle. I did have a negative display square last year briefly, but I couldn't really get on with that one. It wasn't nearly as legible as the standard displays. I then upgraded to the top of the range, all singing, all dancing, radio controlled, atomic clock, Bluetooth one with the app. But we don't have access to the atomic clock here in Australia, so that feature was rather null and void. Likewise, I wasn't a big fan of the app. I thought it was little more than a gimmick. If you're going to set the alarm on your watch using your phone, why don't you just use the alarm on your phone? That's why I got rid of that one and opted for this model. It has all of the features that I need, nothing that I don't need. It is my almost perfect beater watch.
So there you have it, a watch that may well outlive me, and I promise, I cross my heart and hope to die, I won't be selling this one anytime soon. What else could I possibly want from a beater watch? For me personally, it's perfect. Well, almost perfect. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.